Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Cinema Talk podcast. I'm Saul,
I'm Alan.
and today we're going to be discussing discussing Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Um, as you can see, I was able to get the collectible bucket. It even has lights and everything. It's got the keys as well. So that's pretty sick.
Sick.
You can use the keys to unlock the popcorn bucket, which is pretty dope. And then I was able to get this one from AMC. This one actually has all of the movies, like specific scenes from all the movies, which is pretty sick. I like that a lot. Because I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan. My dad put me on it when I was a little kid. So once I started watching those, I just fell in love with them. I think it's one of the best action thriller franchises of all time.
Yeah,
But that's just me.
I can agree.
Yeah, I love these movies.
Very iconic.
Yeah, and Tom Cruise just goes batch even more and more crazy every time, man. He just keeps going for it.
Yeah.
He's wild.
Yeah.
He's
Tom
the president
Cruise,
of
bro.
movies.
The
President of movies, as they call him on Twitter.
Tom Cruise, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going for the action sequences, you're not going to be disappointed at all. He did it again. He topped what he did before and went above and beyond what he's done in all the previous movies of the franchise. And I was pleasantly surprised at what he did.
Yeah. For his age, all the stunts that he was doing is pretty crazy.
Yeah, seriously, he's 61.
To think that he does all his stunts is
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
It's freaking insane.
Yeah.
Like from going skydiving, on camera, rolling on camera skydiving, to climbing the tallest tower in the world, obviously with a wire and stuff, to having a knife like on his eye with like a steel bar, full force, like right there. The slightest, like if it breaks, that shit would have gone right in his eye on Mission Impossible 2. And what else did he do? Rogue Nation. No, jumping off the mountain with the bike.
That was pretty sick.
Like every single time he does something even crazier, man. It's just insane.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say he did it again. It's worth checking out. And I have heard a couple complaints, and I'm ready to address them because I did just watch it again. I've watched it twice just to make sure I have everyone's perspective of what they see in this movie. And I've heard two things. Either it's the best thing of all time, or the first half is slow and extended out way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I get their position on the exposition of this movie, of giving background information repetitively, but I feel like for the plot it kind of needed it. I mean, I can understand cutting like maybe 10 minutes, and that's fair. That's a fair point. I'm not objecting against it. But I mean, Ethan Hunt had to relay the information to like 3 different people.
Yeah.
He got captured. He had to tell it to the president, obviously, to be able to get the aircraft carrier, and then had to go to the next person to get to the next objective, and then the next person. So like, but every single time it's different pieces of information,
Yeah. Which is pretty realistic. I feel like in real
it's
life
realistic,
that's what would happen.
And I guess you can make the argument, they could have cut that out. But I mean, it's just about following his path on what he's doing.
That's what he's got to go through as well.
Yeah. About the impossible mission.
Because I have heard people complain about too much dialogue, not much action.
But the
action sequences, when it does happen, are very long.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Like, it's because here's the thing. Like, when you hear action, some people just go in expecting just a bunch of action and like 10 minutes of dialogue.
Yeah, that's not.
And I'm like,
you gotta watch a war movie for that or something.
Just go watch something else then, because if you're just there for that, Mission Impossible is not your movie.
No.
Mission Impossible it's a spy movie. You got to think about that. Like, there has to be sequences of dialogue. There has to be sequences of undercover work, and then you get the action. Like, you guys got to remember, even though this is like the highest stakes this franchise has had, there's been movies where they're doing undercover operations, and it's not just all action; it's also suspense building and dialogue on getting the operation done and such. Like, because these movies are known for explaining to the team what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's extra exposition. The Mission Impossible franchise is not unfamiliar with this. They've done this before, and every single time, like it's either Benji or Ethan explaining the plan to the rest of the team and showing visuals of like, okay, you're gonna go undercover, you're gonna do this, you're gonna extract the key, you're gonna send it down this pipe, and I'm gonna be here at 0200 hours, pick it up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not
explaining
the
the
first
plan.
movie that's doing this.
Yeah, it's just the plan
all of
of
them
what
have
they're
had
doing.
this.
Yep.
Sorry, I feel like I didn't let you talk. Go ahead.
No, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
go
dude.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you go
Because
ahead.
I'm looking at the audio and I'm like, holy shit, I want to.
No, it's because this for you, I guess, is the movie you're very passionate about.
Yeah,
So I feel like
I love these movies.
I like these movies, but not as passionate as you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you will be talking mostly for this film. But I will give my opinions and my thoughts on the movie as well.
Yeah.
I personally thought that this movie was very very well made.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the scenes, the exposition scenes are needed for the story to progress.
Yeah.
You can't just jump from one thing and then he's doing something else. Like, how did he get there?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it stretch out.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, sorry.
And I would get the argument that like, okay, but we already saw this in Dead Reckoning, and that's fair. I'm not objecting to that. They could have maybe cut it out because you've seen Dead Reckoning, you already know what's happening, and I mean that's fair. I'll take that point. No excuse for that.
An idea I think that they were going for was people that didn't watch the other movies, trying to get them up to speed.
Yeah.
Of what or why things were happening that certain way.
Yeah, because I watched it with my dad, and I don't think he remembers Dead Reckoning. And when we walked out of the movie, he didn't seem lost at all. So, like, I think it did do the job for people that have not seen those. And maybe this was a way for them to get to watch the rest of it. You saw the end, now you can see how this built up to that,
Yeah.
And so, like, if my dad was able to catch up with this movie with all the complex situations happening and whatnot, I feel like it did its job for the casual viewer, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
And some people can pick it up more than others, and that's fair too.
Yeah.
But some people need to take their time with it and this and that.
I
so.
think they did very well to catch you up with whatever was happening with the last movies.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't. I wasn't lost. I actually, I've only seen the first one, and then like the past like 3 or 4 movies.
So you've seen.
Maybe Fallout was probably the first one of the most recent ones,
Oh, so you saw Fallout and Dead Reckoning?
and then this new one, and then the
Okay.
first one.
Oh,
I
okay,
never
so
watched
you-
Ghost Protocol. I didn't watch
Rogue
3, 2,
Nation.
or Rogue Nation. Yeah,
I would say the second one's the weaker one for me.
that's what I've heard
Yeah.
from a lot of people. That's probably the worst one.
Yeah. I think the third one's good. Some people actually think the third one is the worst one.
Really?
I don't know why. I mean, that's the one that I genuinely felt the stakes were high.
Yeah.
And things could have gone, like, oh my god, they really did this? With some characters and stuff. That's where I felt like they weren't scared to make rash or bold decisions. But I digress. So, yeah, I think the plot was okay. I think it was perfectly fine. The exposition was needed, or, not needed, but it wasn't. It didn't drag the movie for me.
I wasn't bored. I was pretty locked in throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, there was a couple on my second viewing. I did notice there was a couple of repeated lines of dialogue, and I mean that's fair. Like just kind of like re-emphasizing the point more than 2-3 times. That's fair.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I like the plot a lot.
I liked it. I think the stakes were really high. I mean, it's kind of a very very crazy outcome that could have happened
Yeah,
or can happen, will or don't.
and it's crazy because it's relative to today.
Yeah.
Because AI is existing right now, man.
It's scary.
It's here.
And it's
And
only gonna
it's-
get better and better.
Actually,
Or
there
smarter and
was
smarter.
fun fact. When we went to the movie together, we came in late because apparently AMC decided to showcase the fan event version of it, which was happening on Wednesday at 2 p.m. But the catch was that at the fan event there was no trailers, no pre-show things. It was just movie starts at 2 p.m. sharp. And so what happened was we came in like at maybe 6, like because our
6:10,
time was like
6:15.
at 6,
Yeah.
and we came in like at 6:10, and we were in line trying to get this bad boy, but I forgot this was a Regal, and one of our buddies went in like I'm just gonna wait in the seats, and then he texts me like, dude, the movie already started, and we're both like, what the f, because we were expecting trailers, but apparently not. They released the version that started at 6 p.m. sharp, so we came in like at 6:15 p.m. We missed like 15 minutes of the intro.
And a lot of people were upset.
I
Like,
was mad, dude.
We would walk in and people behind me or in front of me were like, the movie already started?
Yeah, I was
that
like-
kind of sucks. You know?
You're telling me one of my most anticipated movies,
You already
I
missed.
missed like the 15 minutes? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
So that's why I watched it again, because I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm down to watch the whole thing again just to get those 15 minutes. But those 15 minutes were important.
Really?
Yeah. Or not as important to the plot, but it gives you a better picture of what's happening. So basically, the way it goes is, Ethan,
Is it spoiler talk?
Pulls up-
Spoiler talk?
I mean, yeah.
I didn't want you to start. And then,
We can...
or you want to talk about this towards... It's because you're already...
Yeah, we'll talk about this at the end. Okay. But yeah, if you want to hear what happens, wait till the end. But yeah, it is important. It gives you a better picture of what's happening in the world. What people are seeing
Yeah.
with AI.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's that. Characters, I did like that Ethan kind of let Benji take over the team. It was kind of a cool moment because we've never seen that before. It was always Ethan managing the team and telling him what to do. So I like that. That was cool. And I did like that Dunlow, the guy from the first movie, they added a lot more to his character than I expected.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was just going to be like a cameo, like, okay, let's go here. I need something from you. See you later.
Oh, he played a pretty big part,
He was
huh?
a big part in the plot.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised. I was hoping it wasn't just a cameo.
Yeah.
So I did like that. That was cool.
Well, he was a big deal in the first movie.
Yeah. Well, no.
Well, they made it seem like he was a big deal because he kind of took care of a certain thing.
Yeah, you're right.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's true. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he was a bigger part of the plot, and I like that for that. Like, he was an unexpected character that stood out for me.
Yeah.
Especially his wife, too. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, she had a good, funny moments.
But, I mean, there was a few characters that I felt were unused. Like, let's say, who was it? Kittredge's assistant. I think his name was Phillips? Jim Phelps. Something like that.
Yeah.
The guy that was always hunting him down in Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
Let
Well,
me see if
I
can
didn't watch
find
that
his
one,
face.
so.
You didn't see Dead Reckoning?
I didn't see. Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh.
I did. Sorry. I did.
Briggs. Sorry, Briggs.
There you
I feel
go.
like they didn't do too much with Briggs. He was just there maybe for like 10 minutes of the movie. And Degas, he was part of the team. He was the one that was with Paris. He was initially with Briggs, but then he deviated from that.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't use him that much.
Yeah, he was just kind
kinda
of there. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of fair. But the rest of the characters were pretty cool. They had their moments individually, I would say, each one, and the action sequences with all of them was pretty cool. Like Paris or Palm, the actress, she did all her stunts, all of them.
Really?
It was all her, and I was like, that's pretty baller. That's pretty sick. She's following Tom Cruise's method,
Yeah.
So that was pretty sick.
Yeah. I actually seen an interview about with her, and I think she said that she wanted to learn how to or get her like her skydiving license or something like that.
Oh,
And
I
Tom
did see
Cruise, she
that.
talked to Tom Cruise about it, and he was like, "Well, you have to do about 25 jumps." And I was like, 25, And I guess she was kind of like asking him, "Do you have any recommendations on which skydiving schools there are?" He's like, "I'll get back to you." And I guess he signed her up to a skydiving class, and I guess they did like 15 jumps together or something like that.
Dude.
Yeah. Imagine
Imagine
skydiving
flexing.
with her?
I did skydiving with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's a flex.
And she brought up, she was like, after each skydiving class, he'd leave in his own plane. He'd drive his plane back home. I was like, damn, that's badass.
Freaking Tom Cruise, man! I swear.
That's sick.
God, what a man. What a guy! What a
What a
guy!
guy! What a guy!
I thought the dialogue was cool on this one.
Yeah.
There was a couple funny moments, you know, not just with Ethan Hunt, but other characters too. So that's cool because, you know, Mission Impossible does have its funny moments. And when they're funny, I would say they're funny. Like, not like hilarious, but
Get a good chuckle.
they get a good chuckle, yeah.
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 So I was happy with that. I was I was pleased with
You were
that.
pleased, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
I like the dialogue too.
And
Action wise,
action killer.
yeah.
Killer. Especially that submarine and that plane
Oh
section.
man.
Those are the highlights of that.
For me, I personally like the submarine sequence
Uh-huh.
more than the ending.
I like the ending more.
That submarine part,
I think because I'm afraid of heights,
yeah.
but then again, I'm scared of the ocean too. So I don't know which one is more.
I'm scared of the ocean.
like,
So that was pretty insane.
yeah.
There was some guy behind me during that whole submarine part where things would like almost about to happen, you know, and he'd be like, and then I hear him go. I was like, I don't even look back. I was like, what's wrong with this guy? But I could understand why he was like very nervous. It was
I felt nervous, dude. I was like, "Ay, cabrón,"
Yeah.
like, damn.
and there was like barely any music. They just kind of played like maybe like a violin note, you know, like
They had in the submarine section they had a choir with like super deep,
yeah, you
vocals.
see, yeah,
kind of like making it feel like intimidating or like whatever he's gonna be doing next.
Yeah.
You know, especially when he opens that door and you see that big ass submarine in there.
Yeah.
Just like it kind of freaked me out, like
It's scary.
how big submarines are, you know,
compared to a
and
human.
just you swimming there, like Jesus,
Yeah,
that's scary.
yeah. How deep the ocean is too.
God, it's so difficult choosing between both because both action sequences are insane, dude.
Yeah, no, yeah,
It's so
I really love
difficult.
the last action scene as well.
Yeah. Freaking Tom Cruise. Man. I don't know how he does it. Man.
I actually don't know how they did that submarine part.
I
Because there's
saw
moments where it's
footage.
spinning.
Yeah.
So I was like, are they
I'm
in a
pretty
room
sure
that
they
spins?
had like a built stage that they were probably rotating like a tunnel.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. But I do know that for the water scenes, they had built the biggest in studio pool on a set ever. Like it even beat Avatar's The Way of Water's
Oh, wow.
size.
That's crazy.
For specifically for the submarine shots.
No.
I don't know how they did it visually. What was it VFX and what was not.
Mm.
But overall, that dude was probably underwater for like a good minute or something. You know.
Yeah. Just the stakes were high for both scenes. For sure.
Definitely. But aside from those two, I would say the action sequences, all of the ones included, were top notch too.
Mm-hmm.
The choreography was insane. It was very well played out. Like everyone knew what they were doing. All the takes were exceptional, and you know, no one missed a beat. Like they were locked in when they
Yeah.
were doing all those fighting scenes.
The choreography was
Yeah.
really good.
Sometimes seeing those, I'm like, I wish I would have been a stunt double. Like it just
Yeah.
seems so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, just doing those scenes and acting out those fights and
It's
stuff.
almost like dancing for them, you know?
Yeah,
It's just-
it was just sick. Just doing a couple blocks and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, it would have been so cool.
yeah. The cabin scene was pretty cool too.
Yes, yeah.
I like that cabin scene.
It was really sick.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lot of highlights and actors that came out, like Milchick from Severance.
Oh yeah, he's
that
pretty,
was sick.
yeah.
I liked his lines a lot.
I honestly feel like that Milchick character. I don't know his name in the movie, but he's like that submarine
The captain of the USS Ohio.
Yeah. So he, the way he was acting, just reminded me of Milchick.
A bit, huh?
And I was
When
like,
he's
is that just Milchick in the submarine or what? You know, like
I think it's just the actor's attitude in that role. I would
Yeah,
say, just
yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
Mister.
yeah, like he's
Yeah.
down for whatever he's got going on.
Yeah, he had some funny moments, dude. It
Yeah.
was sick. I liked it a lot.
yeah. I did
And
like-
then the lady from Ted Lasso, I forgot her name, the manager of the team, the blonde, that was the captain, Captain Neely
oh yeah,
for the George H.W. Bush.
yeah,
She was a highlight too. Like it was cool just seeing a couple actors, you know, here and there, like guest actors, just
Yeah.
randomly coming up, and I like that too. There was a lot of highlights. Like the guy from Top Gun Maverick was in the, you know, President's Bunker too,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was the female actress from Ozark in there as well,
Mm-hmm.
and then the FBI CIA agent from The Amateur was there too. Like it was cool just seeing all these random actors, like all like maybe giving their best performances on Mission Impossible for like the last movie.
Even Ron Swanson, dude.
Oh yeah, that too. I
He's
totally
in there,
forgot
bro.
about him.
I
forgot
just didn't
about Ron
really recognize
Swanson.
him without the mustache.
Yeah,
But I
that
was like, hey,
cool.
that's him.
Yeah, that was really sick. I liked all these guest actors. It was really cool.
Yeah. It was cool to see.
Yeah. And writing and dialogue I think was good. I think it was just those repetitive scenes or like repetitive lines.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess just to emphasize the point too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that. But definitely the highlight was the action sequences,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah. I really like the action sequences for sure.
And the visuals were top notch. I
Yeah.
think the visuals were great. I didn't catch that many that was like, ugh, I liked all of them.
Yeah, they were all good.
And I think they did some clever use of the IMAX ratio, too.
I
Like,
wanted
did you
to
catch
talk
that?
about in the submarine part
Yeah, yeah.
when he's turning the
Yeah,
thing.
dude.
Yeah.
On Thursday, I was like,
I smiled. I was like,
they're
that was pretty
cooking.
good. Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah. Even this time, like watching it today, I was just like, that's right.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
for those that don't know, he's kind of like he's turning like a wheel to like open the door, but like in every turn, the IMAX screen opens up more and more.
it's
and
like
each turn,
it's time to lock in because
Yeah.
it's like when that submarine entire sequence is coming. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
This is gonna be all IMAX ratio.
that was
right here.
good.
That was really sick. It was really creative, and I like that.
Yeah, I
That was
really
really
like
sick.
that too. I don't know if they did anything for like that last sequence. I didn't really
think-
catch anything.
I didn't catch it either. I
They
think
just
it
kinda-
just came
yeah,
up.
yeah.
But they might have happened. I probably missed it.
I missed it probably too.
Yeah.
They probably did do something.
I should have paid attention to that part because I did hear that there was two specific
Oh really?
creative changes on the aspect
Yeah.
ratio, but I probably missed the second one.
Mhm.
But yeah, the whole sequence was insane, man. I
Mm-hmm.
just love it. I just love this franchise so much.
You gotta get it tattooed on you, bro. You gotta get
Where should I put that one?
put
Because I got the God of War stuff right here.
just put Tom Cruise's face right here, and then President of Movies. Yeah.
Yeah, and then get his signature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That would be sick.
Tom Cruise, bro.
Yeah. Are you ready for a rating, or do you have anything else you wanted to discuss on this one?
No, that's just that submarine scene. I can't emphasize that and the ending, the plane scenes, were the top highlights of the movie for me.
Okay.
That was crazy.
Yeah, definitely. He did it. He did it. He went above and beyond.
It's just crazy how he's. Well, I won't talk spoilers. Never mind. We'll talk about spoilers in a
After
bit.
the ratings, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was difficult for me, to be honest, because I wanted to give it a 5 so bad, but I had to give it a 4.5. And I'll explain in the spoilers why.
Okay.
But I gave it a 4.5.
4.5. What about on a out of 10 scale?
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't even think about that.
Because we did a out of 10 scale on the other stuff too. So you got to do that out of 10. You think about it, and I'll give my part. Out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And out of 10, I think it's a solid 9.
I was going to give it a 9.5.
9.5?
Yeah.
I can agree with you.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think it was a 9.
Okay. So officially, 4.5 out of 5.
I think so.
Okay.
4.5 out of 5,
Yep.
and probably like a 9.3 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Out
So
of 10?
the official Real Cinema Talk podcast rating is going to be a 4.5 out of 5 on this one. This is the movie to watch at the movies, guys. I'm serious. Don't watch it at home.
Yeah.
This movie is made to be seen on the big screen, like Tom Cruise says. I don't care if I sound like a maniac. Like, this man makes movies for the movies.
Yeah.
Go watch it over there, man.
Yeah, this is I don't think you're gonna get the same effect
Hell no.
at home than in the movies, you know.
Nope.
And obviously at home you're gonna be on your phone, or someone's talking to you, or you're just distracted. You're not
Yep.
as invested.
Yep.
And in the movies, it's kind of like you're forced to be invested, and I feel like you will enjoy it more.
Yep.
You'll have a more better appreciation for this
Yeah.
film.
Especially with the insane things that Tom Cruise does. You got to see that on the big screen. See every little detail of the things he's doing up there, man.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
With that out of the way, though, we can start talking spoilers and all that stuff. 5 seconds of
Yep.
wait. You all right?
Yep.
All right. So now, if you're sticking around, you either watched it or you just want to hear the spoiler discussion and our thoughts on it. So we can go over the first 15 minutes.
Go ahead.
Basically, what happens is, he gets a VHS tape and puts it in the box, and it's basically the president telling him how, he's done a lot of things for the United States and the world, and asking him to do one last mission, give the key back, like asking him to come out of hiding to go and give the key.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout that speech, they're giving certain like scenes from all of the movies of the franchise, kind of like a little love letter to all the things that have happened in all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
All the crazy stunts, like that little sequence in the trailers where he's falling in Ghost Protocol, then goes to Fallout, and then goes to like I think it was Rogue Nation, kind of like going between all of them. That's in there too, and just showing a couple other things of all of the movies,
Just to catch you up to what
just showing everything
what
he's
has
done.
led to where they're at.
Yeah, just showing like this is the end of the road. All these movies, showing all these little things, and then after that, in that speech, it says that the AI at the entity has taken control of all of the news media outlets and all social media, and is manipulating everything to turn every country against each other.
Yeah, see, that would have been good to know.
Like literally, it's you can't trust anything on the internet. Period.
Yeah.
And so the world is kind of in like chaos because it's like AI, like it's making fake videos. Like, let's say I think it showed on the news, like there was someone with like a camera.
Yeah.
And then it shows the AI editing it into a gun.
Oh, wow.
So it's showing like, okay, the U.S. in real life is recording videos, but to other countries it's seen as a terrorist, attacking other people.
Yeah.
So like it's making everyone turn against each other by manipulating the media.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, this would have been good to know, before.
Yeah.
Like it's a little detail, but it just paints a big picture on everything that is happening around the world.
What the world sees now.
Yeah, literally. Like it's controlling everyone's minds. And it kind of goes into how AI is manipulating people to believe that humans shouldn't exist and that the entity should take over and kill all of humanity. Like some people genuinely wanted that to happen.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, and it's crazy how it's not even unrealistic. On Twitter, I see all the time people like praising AI and be like, you know what? People should stop making movies. AI is the future. Like, just let AI make the movies. Like, bro, you guys are crazy.
Nah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But I feel like those 15 minutes added a bigger picture to the whole thing for me.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah.
So I can get a better picture because, I feel like that's pretty essential to what the film proposes, I guess.
Why did you give it a 4.5? Was there specific things that brought it down for you?
I just think it was a little too long.
Okay, that's fair.
It was a little too long. I didn't feel like it dragged, but I just was like, maybe they, like how you said, they could have cut out a couple of scenes that wasn't really necessary for like the plot or like the story. And even if I missed the first 10, 15 minutes, I feel like it still felt a little long.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's fair.
But that comes into a part where it's like, how can I say it? I don't know what I was going with that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, I feel like part of it was also like some of the dialogue stuff like was repeated, like I've said before.
Yeah.
And they could have cut some stuff out. Wouldn't have made a big deal. But I wasn't opposed to it being in there either. Because to me it didn't feel like 3 hours. Or 2 and 50, whatever. It didn't feel like that to me, at least.
Yeah.
But going to my point, the reason I gave it a 4.5 was because it did not feel like a definitive ending to me.
I can agree.
This is the end of the franchise, and you got like a open ending. Like there's no closure to Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, he just walks into the shadows with the entity and just is gone. Like after 8 movies, you know, like that can't just be the end.
I feel like they should have just killed him off, to be honest.
Killing him off would have been, would have been fair, but yeah, to me I was like, okay, what's next? It didn't feel like, okay, that's over. Like it felt like there was something else that might come up later.
Yeah, I feel like they might do one more.
That's the only reason it came down for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And they also that other character, the assistant. You know how he
Benji?
Benji kind of just died in the tunnel or whatever.
He didn't die. He passed out.
He just passed out. In my head, I was like, oh, he died. You know, I was like, okay, at least most of his team is dead. In my head, I thought. Like the original
Most
team.
of the OG, yes.
Oh yeah, original team.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like now he's got a whole new team, you know.
Yeah.
But then I
Luther
saw him
died,
at the
man.
very end, and I was like, what the hell? I thought he died. You know.
Yeah.
But I guess he just passed out. But yeah, I thought it was a little just too long, and I don't think I could give it a 10. I don't think I could give it. I don't think it's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
Sinners is a perfect movie. And it,
I remember I gave Sinners like a 9.5.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I had my little.
Okay,
I was
think it's a perfect
nitpicking.
movie.
I was
think it's a
nitpicking that
perfect
movie though. This one is just like, it's really good. It's
Yeah.
really good. It's a good. I think it's a good ending. Like, but how you said, like the open. Bless you.
Thank you.
Just the open ending is just kind of like what are you guys going for then?
Yeah.
If this was the ending.
I feel like it needed more closure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only part that disappointed me. But aside from that, everything else was great.
I agree.
Luther's death was sad though. At first, I feel like they brushed past it, and that kind of bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they came back with that speech at the end, and then I was like, okay, there we go. That's what I needed.
That's literally what happened to me too. I was like, they just kind of killed them off, but then like that speech kind of helped a lot.
And it does make sense because you got 72 hours, no time for emotions. You gotta lock in. You gotta go get your shit done. You know.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hunt has to be on the run because I mean he literally made it in like the last 15 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
And so I get it. But at first it did bother me.
Yeah.
But it was sad. The boy had to go, man.
Damn. I thought he was gonna come out at the end too. I was like, oh, he might just pop up.
No.
But nah, they killed him.
Gabriel's death was fucking funny though.
When he hits the tail of the plane.
Yeah, he's like, bro, I'm the only one with the parachute. Mocos, cabrón.
Yeah.
I like that. That was funny.
That was good. That's what he gets.
Yeah.
That's what he gets.
I don't know how Tom Cruise did the plane sequences, dude.
Him jumping through like the wires and stuff right there on the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's spinning like basically doing like a belly roll.
Yeah.
And he's still stuck on there. I mean, obviously he's probably has like maybe like a wire or two on him
Uh-huh.
to not fall out. But still, that's pretty scary. It's a lot of trust on
Freaking
one or two wires.
And I saw an interview where he said that he had to learn to breathe with 140 miles per hour of wind.
Yeah.
Because he says, like, you know, you're driving on the freeway, you get your head out, it's hard for you to breathe, you know?
And you're only
So,
going like what, 60, 70?
Imagine double that, like the training you have to do to withstand, you know, that amount of pressure and being able to breathe under that. Because I mean, you saw in the movie, like his cheeks were coming out, and he's just
His
like
whole face was distorted.
yeah, like you can tell he was, you know, in the moment on that stuff, you know. Just the training he does, man, it's insane.
Now I just wonder if he was actually up in the air, or they're maybe on a set with just a big fan just blowing that.
No, he was in the air, dude.
Yeah?
Don't
Oh,
you
wow.
remember that? They came out with.
Oh yeah, I seen the little him announcing the movie or something like that.
Yeah, he's on the plane and he's like, "See you at the movies," and then it just dives
Yeah,
down.
I do remember
Yeah,
that,
they
yeah.
were doing that on, in the mountains and stuff,
Yeah, that's crazy. And that whole scene was pretty beautiful too.
dude.
Like the scenery,
Yeah,
it was really nice.
I just thought it was funny how he's like coming up on the wing, and he's just like creeping up, and then they make eye contact, and he's just like looking around.
Yeah.
and then he goes and decks him. Like,
I feel like that. Yeah, that first guy, right?
Yeah, that was funny.
That first guy just didn't really know how to react. He was just
he's
kind of
just like,
yeah.
what? That got to me.
He was probably like, "How did this fool get up here?" Anything else you want to discuss?
No, I think that was it.
That was it.
I was pleased with this movie, and it's my number 2 right now on my rank. Number 2.
Oh, it didn't beat Sinners.
No, it was a tough choice, but it didn't beat Sinners.
wow.
Sinners.
Hey, and you were betting on this to be top
Top
of the
10.
year.
I said top 10.
Oh, okay, all right.
Top 10. Or top 5. One of the two.
Yeah.
I know it's not gonna be top because you got Avatar coming out, and I just know that one's gonna be up there, for sure.
Avatar.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I hope it stays in my top 10. I really hope it does.
I think it will.
I think so.
I think it will. Because
But
we're
yeah,
already
cool.
or almost in the middle of the year.
Damn, that was fast.
It was fast, so I don't think it'll drop under 10.
Yeah, but it was really tough to put it under Sinners because
Yeah.
I love it, but yeah, just Sinners is a different beast.
Yeah. It's a whole different type of movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can probably end this episode here.
All right.
We thank you guys for checking it out, and we're gonna see you guys in the next episode, which will most likely be bringing her back. I'm excited about that one. That one's gonna be really good.
That's this upcoming week.
Yep, this Friday.
Yeah,
Let's
there.
do it. I'm ready for that one. I'm ready to be traumatized.
Yeah, I've heard
I'm
great
ready.
things.
It's freaking YouTubers,
It's
man.
like disturbing. It's twisted. It's scary. It's horrifying. I've heard great things about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, we'll find out. Stay tuned, guys. So,
Please like and subscribe.
yep.
Hit us with some comments. What you want to see next? What do you
Yeah.
like us to do? You know.
I'm gonna light this up for the end of the episode here. Where's the button? There we go.
And there
All
it
right.
is.
Well, this has been the Real Cinema Talk podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.
Later, guys.